We got the live notification. Hey everybody, thanks for coming out, checking out our community one-shots. This is FeatherFall Tabletop presents Watchers in the Dark. This is one of the installments of the Arcane Library Bundle of Horror. This is the level 4 adventure in there. We've played through 2 of the others on this channel. Great stuff. Fun for a DM because the way they are written is so great. Just easy to get a hold of, and that's why we like doing them here. But anyway, we're here, got community one-shots. Let's go through some housekeeping, and then I'll have the players introduce themselves, and we will move on from there. We'll get into the gameplay. So, FeatherFall Tabletop, we are sponsored by 2 different companies here. One of those is Found Familiar Coffee. Great people in the community, always supporting and looking to lend a hand, looking to get artists' work out there, and they do a ton of work with the community, and it's great to be affiliated with them. You can use the affiliate link down below and code FeatherFall at checkout to save yourself 10% on any of their role-playing. I don't want to say just Dungeons and Dragons themed because it's kind of expanded out from that, but any kind of TTRPG themed coffee you'd like. We are also sponsored by Skull Splitter Dice. They longtime sponsor for the channel here. Any of your dice needs, you can check them out with the link down below. Code FeatherFall saves you 10% on those dice as well. Let's see, what do we got coming up? I think, Wednesday we're taking a break from our Wildmount game. It's looking like we're gonna the movement to darken Twitch for the day is happening, and we're going to join in on that. And we are not playing our game on Wednesday, so you won't catch us here. But we will be back on Sunday with our Force and Destiny Tales from the Cantina. I think that's episode 4 at this point. And then next Monday we do have another one shot. That is Valley of the Gilded Tower, another installment from the Arcane Library here. So that's what's coming up around the corner. Okay, let's get into introductions. Just I'd like you to tell us who you are and where they can find you on the internet, if you'd like to promote that, anything you want to promote that you do around the internet. And we'll get into like character introductions once we're kind of in the game. But tell us who you are, and I'll start with on Twitch, the top left. That would be Marlo. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Marlo. I do lots of one-shots and things like that around different channels and stuff. So if you follow me on Twitter, you can see those updates. I am at Marlo, Marlo, Bogwitch. So it's Boggwitch. I am also on a really great podcast called Sins of the Father. We are a 5e game about kids looking for our missing fathers, and currently doing a really cool side arc about some treasure hunting pirates. So check us out.
Awesome. Thanks, Marlo. It's good to have you back. I DM'd a game with you, Kids on Bike, for the COVID relief. That was kids on bikes, but that was fun, and I'm happy to play with you again. All right, moving over to PJ. If you want to go ahead and tell us who you are, where we can find you, anything you want to promote.
My name is Patrick. I PJ_Shamrock, and that's on Twitter or Twitch or Discord. I'm starting to start playing more often. One shots like this is a great start, and I'm having a great time. This is something I've been doing or have been doing since I was a kid, 15, 16 years old, back with, AD&D. So this is old but new.
All right, PJ, we're happy to have you here. Moving down to Typo.
Hi, hello everybody, I'm Typo. You know me, you love me, or you haven't heard of me and you're missing out. Ego aside. You can find me here on FeatherFall Tabletop doing one-shots and potentially joining campaigns, as well as Polished Cryptid's channel, where I do pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, that's right. We played through one of the Tales from the Yawning Portal, Dead and Thay, not too long ago. All right, and good to have you back. You do see we do have a blackened screen down below with nobody sitting in it. That star couldn't make it tonight, so we are down to 3 players. But these are seasoned pros. They'll be fine. I'm not even going
We're
to
doomed.
adjust the combat. You guys will just be fine. It's all good. Anyway, here we go. So we are jumping into Watchers in the Dark. You all are a kind of a traveling, adventuring party together. You all know each other. You've been, working through travels together. You're currently in a patch of forest that is kind of off trail, off the main road a little bit. And you're working through that. It's a rather nice day. The kind of sun is getting ready to set. But up ahead, you do see what was once clear sky has now turned into hazy, kind of smoke filled, and you can see you're starting to catch some of the trees that have been singed by something. Fires have been kind of spreading through the underbrush and clearing some of that out. Not like a normal forest fire. It looks a little bit different to you all, but that's what you are approaching as you are moving through this forest. And the smoke gets really thick, about 100 feet in front of you, and you can tell once you enter that, your line of sight's going to be a little different. It's going to be a little shortened. So at this point, I'll give you a moment to, as you're walking through and approaching this, go ahead and introduce your character. Tell us what they look like. You can give class and race if you'd like, but it's always kind of fun to see if people can guess as you play. But I'll leave that up to you. What you want to say about your character, and we'll start in that same order. We'll start with Marlo.
So Gretchen is a very large woman. She has dark hair and bright blue eyes, and she's fair of face, but quite a intimidating figure. And she has a cloak over top. It's black cloak, plain, and she usually wears the hood up. And she is. I'll let you guys guess because you're going to figure out in 1 minute whenever I do an attack what her class is.
That's great.
You don't already know.
Thanks, Marlo. And PJ.
Valtiv is tall, about 6 foot, 6'1" in his boots. He has the very well kept. He's the polished armor. He has a bluish gray tabard with the gold embroidery, and he knows he's all that. He's older, so he has the salt and pepper hair. It's long. It's down here. He's got the beard going on with some white streaks in it. He's very, very fit for his age. I mean, think of Sam Elliott in Roadhouse. I mean, this is who this guy is. He walks with his head up, and he knows he's it.
Nice. To quote Roadhouse, pain don't hurt. Great movie. Okay, thanks, PJ. We'll go down to Typo. Go ahead and tell us who you're playing tonight.
I'm going to be playing Ashworm, otherwise known as Bookworm by some of his friends. He's a soft-spoken beanpole of a wizard dressed in an oversized poncho. It obscures just about every part of him except for a pair of very long, twiggy legs that poke out from the bottom. And the top half of his head, which the bottom half is wrapped around in a knitted scarf that trails off behind him. He seems almost at every moment to trying to hide within his poncho and scarf, as if afraid the merest glance might destroy him.
Getting real Ichabod Crane kind of vibes from the old the old Disney animated one. That's cool.
Also, can I just say, whoa, tall squad.
That's right. Okay, so you're coming, kind of keeping pace, keeping an eye open. If you can, I'll have either a nature check or a perception check, whatever you're proficient in, or you have the best modifier, as you're kind of approaching, and you do hear some sounds within that smoke, that haze that is kind of creating this wall in front of you.
I rolled a 16.
Nature, you said?
Or perception, whatever's your kind of go-to here.
I am a wizard.
18.
15.
Yeah, you all pass this. You hear this bellowing of this deep, guttural sound of it's almost pig-like in nature. It's not almost. It is exactly pig-like, and you hear like some rutting in the dirt, and then but even beyond those ruts and bellows, you hear the voice of what you make out to be a human male voice that's screaming kind of at the top of his lungs, "There's always something trying to kill me!" And then as that he says that, you see kind of a firebolt illuminate some of that haze and blast off a tree, and another one, and those boars, those wild boars, are still coming, coming towards him, and he's still screaming, trying to get away. What would you guys like to do? Before you do that, Chromatic Chimera, thank you for the raiding party coming in. Thanks a lot. We appreciate it. Just getting started here. So what would you all like to do as you hear this going on?
Gretchen is gonna step forward and pull her hammer out and be holding it. It's a big two-handed hammer, and she just gets in the stance like, I'm ready. Whatever it is, I'm here for it.
Valtiv sees this, and he sees Gretchen do this, and he goes, takes out his sword, and prepares himself because he knows if she's getting ready, it's time to get ready.
Okay.
Bud Crane, I mean Ash. Quickly, like seeing everybody else getting ready, kind of like paces in place like a little bit, and then does it sound like they're coming towards us or like going across?
It's kind of, yeah, like at an angle. You hear the boars are closer to you, and the voice is further away. It's not one stacked on the other. They're kind of at an angle to you, if that makes sense.
Okay, so it sounds like,
so if you take this line, you kind of, and the boars are closer to you. You can't really. Every now and then you'll see one kind of pop out from the haze, and you can kind of catch the rear end of it and see this kind of giant boar rear end popping out and then going back in, and all the while these fire bolts are coming off.
Okay. Going to reach into my pouch and pull something out, and I'm just going to start going to kind of fall to the ground and just start messing with it on the ground.
If you can get them to come over here, it'd probably be helpful.
Whatever you say, Ash. She turns and turns the direction that they are and screams, "Hey!"
I love it. As that happens, you see two boars kind of peek their head out of this haze that is, it's not a magical wall of fog, but it is pretty thick in one area and then starts to dissipate. It peeks its head out and kind of snuff at the ground, and it is starting to run towards you. What is different in this boar is that it has this dagger-like amber shard stuck in its rib cage, and it's running towards you, Gretchen. It's probably about 50 feet away, coming closer.
She is readied herself and got her hammer down, like she's ready to swing up as it and meet it as it comes towards her, but she kind of holds back and tries to look and get a good eyeball on what that amber thing sticking out of it is.
Yeah, you can give me another perception check on that if you'd like. It's going to come 30 feet closer to you, and this shard is sticking in it, and it's in enough to stay, but it is kind of bobbing up and down as this boar is just gaining speed and galloping up to you. Another one comes out out of the haze itself. Same crystal shard. This one is actually attached into the base of its neck, and it's just kind of flopping there as it's charging.
I rolled a 10 on my perception, so I don't know if I could tell anything else.
It looks... You haven't seen anything like this. It's not like a piece of gold. It's not like a diamond. It has a weird color and a weird, pulsating glow. It's something you've never really seen before, so you're having a hard time, pinpointing exactly what is going on here.
Instead of, trying to swing with the hammer, I would like to try to move forward and grab whatever that is and try to pull it out.
All right. I like this. So everybody, you see Gretchen like kind of holster that hammer, and you're getting almost in like a wrestler kind of stance, getting ready to maybe grapple this boar and pull this out. Is that?
Yeah,
Okay.
she's like crunched down, like
I love it.
got her hands like up, like she's ready to grapple it.
As this is happening, can I cast the spell I've been preparing?
Yeah.
Okay. From behind you, as you charge forward, you hear the mutterings of
Ancient seamstress, hear my call.
"Cast forth your weave and ensnare mine enemies in unyielding bands of silk." And taking his hand, crushing a spider and pulling it apart, these gooey tendrils begin to crystallize into a string-like mesh. And then he throws it out forward, wrapping around the trees, forming a web spell.
Remind me web spell.
Web spell. You conjure a mass of thick, sticky webbing at a point you choose within range. The web fills a 20-foot cube within that point for the duration, up to 1 minute, up to 1 hour. Jeez. The webs are difficult terrain and lightly obscure their area.
Okay.
If the webs need to be anchored between two areas, i.e., the trees around here.
Yep.
And each creature that starts its turn in the web or enters that area during its turn must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failed save, it's restrained as long as it remains in the webs or breaks free. It can use its action to make a strength check to break free.
In 20-foot cube?
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm casting it in front of like where I think the meeting point is going to be, like so it doesn't.
So I'm going to do a dex save on the first board that's coming up, and that's a 12.
Okay, that's a fail.
Okay. So Gretchen, as this first board is coming up, you see, and you're kind of moving. You stop your tracks before this wall of web kind of comes up in front of you, and this boar head impression just comes pushing into the web and kind of gets pushed back. Immediately after it is another one, so I'm going to do a dex save for that guy. That's a nat 20. Pew pew, got him. I'm gonna say this boar breaks through, like kind of jumps on the back of the other one, breaking through. So Gretchen, this one we'll go ahead and do contested strength checks, and we'll see if you can wrestle this boar to the ground. Ooh.
I'm just imagining this scene in bullet time as this boar like
Rolled a 10, so I don't.
Well, yeah, you beat my 5.
Oh,
So you're as this one kind of the one below it pushes, and you see the impression the tusks break through the web, and it kind of gets rubber banded back. But right over the top of that, this one comes in, and you're able to just catch it and then bring it down to the ground. So you both are prone next to it. And you see, this is the one that has the shard in the base of its neck, and it's on the side that is sticking, is up off the ground. So you do see this now. It is kind of this pulsating, soft glow. Mm-hmm. Patrick, remind me of your character's name.
Valtive.
Valtive, what are you doing as this is happening?
I saw Ash on the ground doing his spell. I had the weapon drawn, and I positioned myself to where I was near him. In case, maybe not in case, but if they were coming at him, I would be able to help him as he was casting. I knew he was up to something, and I wanted to make sure that he was at least had some protection.
Perfect. I think you would think Gretchen has that one handled, and now you're focused on that other one. Gretchen, if you want to go ahead and what would you like to do now that you have this boar wrestled down?
Gretchen is gonna grab that shard, and just try to like grab it with, so she doesn't cut herself.
Gotcha.
And pull it out.
Okay.
Try to get a better look at it.
Give me a strength check as you're trying to pull this out. I mean, who better in the party to do the strength check here?
Holy shit, did you just suplex the boar?
I do have animal handling.
Animal handling doesn't let you do that.
In my games, it does.
Literally handling.
Yeah, we're rewriting.
Sort of man handling. This is animal handling. Come on, same thing.
What was your strength check?
It was a 20.
Oh, yeah, easy. You're able to just kind of wiggle this out, one pull. Blood kind of spurts out, but you feel the aggressiveness of this boar kind of go away as this shard exits the body, and it's not really fighting you anymore. The shard is very dagger-like, very sharp to the point, not honed in a way like a knife would be honed. It's kind of a natural looking shard.
She's gonna release the boar.
It gets up immediately and runs away.
And take the shard and just like hold it out and walk towards her, or get up and walk towards her friends.
Okay. I'm gonna try that boar, the second boar, unless either one of you want to do anything in that time to the other boar. It is going to try to get through the web.
His finger is
Gretchen.
as you're like walking away from the boar behind you.
Just like object permanence. I don't see it behind there, so I'm not like recognizing that it's a struggle anymore.
Single sweat drop.
I've seen Gretchen what she did and understood that. I'm guessing I understand this. I'd like to go move towards the boar that's trapped in the web to see if I can perform the same action. I don't know if I'm gonna get there in time.
Yeah, it breaks out this time, like the slit that the other one kind of created. It kind of gets up and kind of topples over it and breaks out. It passed its dex check, and it is now like at you, aggressive eyes, kind of that what it looked like before the shard was pulled out. This one is stuck in the ribs. It is getting to charge you, Valtiv. Would you like to grapple and wrestle?
I'm going to take a swing at it with my longsword.
Okay. So make an attack roll.
That's an 8.
Oh. Yeah, that doesn't hit.
No.
As this boar is coming at you, you're like step aside and try to. Are you trying to hit the boar, or are you trying to hit the shard?
I think I was trying to hit the boar.
Okay.
Slow it down. Stop it.
It's able to kind of get under your sword, and it's going to kind of like do a quick 180 and come back at you, and it's going to try to tusk you. I don't think a 9's going to hit.
No.
All right. So yeah, I kind of again tried to get you. Anybody? We're kind of doing loose combat rules here, so there's no real initiative. But if Ash or Gretchen want to take an action at this point, feel free.
I think Gretchen's too excited about her find and just, like walking towards Ash, like, I found something. Tell me what it is.
Okay.
Oh no! Ash is like, you give Ash the item. It's like Ash like looks up at you, looks down the crystal, looks over the person.
Dude, 1 second,
and he's going to run over and he's going to try to like tackle the boar.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say you have advantage because it's not focused on you. It's focused on Valtiv. It's kind of there ready for another tusk attack at him. So go ahead and give me a strength check. A strength check by the wizard.
That is a 5.
No.
It's as you kind of like get a barrel hug around the chest, the torso of this boar. It kind of just does a quick shimmy and you slide right off. Valtiv, I'll let you go ahead and do an action now as it's staring up at you.
I'd still like to attack it. I'd like to attack it again.
Yep. Yeah, give me that longsword attack.
Because at this point I have my hands full. That's a 15.
Okay, yeah, 15 hits. Give me some damage.
5.
All right, 5 points of damage. Yeah, you kind of get into this boar. It almost seems to anger it even more. It's now ready. It is going to try to tusk you again. That's a 2. That's not going to do it. He's just missing. It's almost like it's so violent. It's so rage filled that this boar isn't really aiming. It's just doing. So Gretchen or Ash.
I think I'm just holding on to the tail at this point, just like,
oh, this was a bad idea.
Yeah, as it's like swinging violently, you are kind of like, swaying with it.
I Ash in his own head is like, I've got it pinned. Hurry up, guys.
Gretchen, who was, when she saw Ash run around and try to tackle this thing, looks alarmed and like looks at the shard, looks back up alarmed, looks down at the shard, puts the shard very carefully down on the ground, like it's like a baby, and then turns and unhooks her hammer and runs up to like smash it.
Okay. Yeah, give me a attack roll.
Oh god, a 7.
Oh, we're getting the bad ones out early, I think, is what we're doing here. That's going to be a miss. And we're all getting the bad ones out because I'm not rolling well either outside of that 120. But that's a miss. Yeah, and this boar is still just not stopping. So, Valtiv, I think we're moving to you. You like take another shot at this guy.
I'm going to yell, stop, damn it! And I'm taking another swipe at it.
Oh, boy.
Okay, that's an 18.
Okay, definitely hits.
And that's 11 slashing.
Oh yeah, there we go. So it's gonna be, yeah, it's looking rough, but it's still there. Still that bloody rage is in its eyes. It's gonna tusk. That's a 21 to hit.
That hits.
I think that's gonna do it. And that's going to be 7 points of slashing damage as its tusk kind of catches the side of your thigh as it's coming up and rips through some of the flesh. Out of the mist, you see the silhouette of a man. And this fire is kind of burning in his hands, and he throws out a firebolt to that boar. 12 just hits. I should have the firebolt damage. What?
1d10.
1d10. Look at this is why. Yeah, so it does 6 damage as kind of lights up the side of this boar itself, and it is looking real rough.
Okay. Ash has a plan. A brilliant wizard plan. I'm going to try to grab onto one of the tusks, and like this thing's like just chaos running wild. I'm going to grab onto the tusks, the softest and safest part of the boar, and I'm going to try to steer it into the web again.
All right, so you kind of, as you shimmy up the back of this boar and kind of use the tusks as handlebars, that shard is like resting in the crook of your arm here, and you're able to kind of like, you can't get it to move forward, but you do steer the tusks away from Valtiv. You're able to kind of like expose that shard to Valtiv.
Okay. Yeah, I imagine it's not even a case of like I'm riding the boar like it's I try to get up on the boar and like slide off and like grab one of the tusks and like pull it to the side.
Yeah, same
off the side of the boar by the tusk.
Yeah, definitely like kind of pull his head down and steer him in that direction. And that silhouette in the haze is like, you've got to remove the shard, pull the shard out. And he's like readying another fireball. Valtiv, it's I believe your turn.
Seeing the boar turn himself, the shard facing me, I will try to pull the shard out.
Yeah, give me a strength check on that one.
Hey.
Yeah. As it's kind of like wiggling and writhing, you're able to pull this shard out, much like Gretchen did earlier. Some blood kind of spurts out, but it does. That anger and the aggression does go away, and it is now trying to run away. Ash, are you letting it go?
They probably run in like it probably runs like a circle for a few seconds before Ash slumps off.
All right,
runs off into the distance.
Finally bucks you off, and then it takes off in that same direction as the other boar. At this point, we would be out of initiative if we had ever rolled it, but we're here. The silhouette is in the haze, kind of barking out orders. Good. Oh, you heroes arrived just in time. And he steps out, and you see this bald man, white robes, like tattered with dirt, like he'd been rolling around and doing the same kind of wrestling dance that you just engaged in. Gold trim around all of the cuffs, He does have a this kind of gaudy golden ring on his finger that does have some sort of inscription on it that you can't tell from where you're at. A book kind of holstered in one side, and he kind of comes up to you. Well, it's about time, and he's kind of wiping sweat and kind of looking over any wounds he may have. And he leaves kind of the floor up to you as he's checking over his person.
What happened here? What all these boars have shards of whatever sticking out of them? What happened?
Nobody knows, but they seem to be under the control. I was overrun in there. Took care of 4 myself, but it's good to see that a backup came. I'm not quite sure where they come from. The shards, I mean. The boars are denizens of these forests. I was just getting close to what looks like a meteor of some sort. There's a big hole in the ground. Seems to be where these shards and elements of and you can see like the pulsing in each of those 2 shards that you have. There's the same pulse coming from the some of the tunnels and caverns below, just below the meteor.
I'm going to go over to one of the shards and I'm going to inspect it.
Yeah.
What? Hand it right to you.
Get us away. You can give me a nature check. See how that.
In nature?
Yeah.
Wizard.
14.
Yeah, this is unlike any kind of precious stone or metal you've seen before. This is not something you've ever handled. It's got some properties that you're not quite sure of. It's got some weird kind of pulsing glows that are inside. It's almost alive in a sense. Like it's got movement to it. It's got like a pulse that is almost heartbeat like.
Perhaps maybe it's some sort of. It seems to be some sort of parasite.
I look over at Gretchen, who's holding one of the crystals.
When you say parasite, she looks very alarmed and like shakes and drops it.
It could probably. It's probably too late. It's probably tainted us all, and we're going to die now.
No, and this man comes up next to you and he puts out his hand. Name's Torvain, but I like where your head is at. I think you are onto something. It is almost parasitic, because as soon as you pulled it from these boars, they went back to being boars.
I thought you were talking about like where my head was with the whole dying thing. I was going to say like that's actually
no,
just therapist or something. Never mind.
Again, I think you're onto something. Again, my name's Torvain. It's good to see somebody else out here because I thought I was going to be in over my head.
Oh,
I'd like to introduce us.
Yeah, he actually pulls out that book, and as you say your name, he's writing it down. So yes, you are, and he looks to you. Sorry, I'm forgetting your name, Valtiv. Sorry, he looks to you. You are.
I am Valtiv, and I motion over to Gretchen. This is Gretchen, and with the other hand, this is Ash.
Valtiv, Gretchen, Ash. Great, nice to meet you again. I'm Torvain. Could I bother you for some help?
Help with what?
I am missing my partner, Iskavol. Has been gone for a few days, and my last known tracks of him have brought me here. And unfortunately, they go underground.
Under the meteor?
Yeah, I can show you what it is, what it looks like. It would have to kind of go into this haze. There'll be something in it for you. I can craft magical items, and I would love to make something for all of you if you help me out here bringing Iskavold back.
Hmm.
And he's kind of like turning and moving towards that haze of this wall. you can't see into it, and he's willing to walk.
That is suspicious.
I mean, if magic items don't do it for you, I don't believe this meteor has been looked at. Maybe we can say that you discovered it, and now you are,
Eyes sparkle.
in the history books.
Well, we have to go and find this meteor. Just imagine a parasitic meteor, and we could discover it.
Sure, I have one question. What's a meteor?
Well, a meteor is when it's falling, actually when it's falling from the sky. So technically he's incorrect. It's a meteorite, which is a piece of rock that came from the stars. Except it doesn't come from the stars, it comes from outer space. But, I don't know if an astronomy lessons right now should be the best thing.
Is it a rock?
Yeah, it's a rock.
Yeah. That's
Can
probably
I
the best
lift
way
it?
to
The
put it.
crystal.
Is it too big to be lifted?
Well, let's come. Let's take a look, and we can reassess
big.
once we see it.
Too big to be lifted. I didn't know you talk like a quitter.
Smile.
I'm lifting this.
Gretchen rages.
Has an enlarged person spell ready.
She does her arms like this, and she's like, "I love a good challenge."
And we don't have anything else pressing.
Good. Again, there were many rewards for you for this help. And he turns and starts walking in, and he kind of disappears into the mist. You see, kind of his head, lower body first, torso goes, and then his head just whoosh, as he goes in. If you're all following and moving on,
Just one beat as he goes in and just turn it over.
I'm not the only one creeped out by that, right? Okay.
it's
Following it.
I know the way I'm describing it, it seems like it's magical in nature, but this is not a magical haze. It's just a thick smoke that is left here, and you he does kind of fade into it magically. But
I'm a hedge wizard. We talk in portions.
So as you all go in, and your visibility is kind of cut down to 30 feet, and you're having a hard time seeing really what's far out in front of you. But 5 minutes in, you get to this big crater where the smoke kind of dissipates, and you see this huge blackened chunk kind of stabbed into the earth. This crater that it has created is 100 feet across, and it goes down about 40 feet in a pretty steep decline. There's a 15-foot tall, modeled tail of this iron meteorite that is jutting out from the mud. You can tell it's got some steam coming off of it, like it might be hot to the touch. Every now and then, a hot red vein kind of pulses, and then it disappears. But it is kind of 40 feet down into the meteor, and Torvain goes, "Yes, there. You can see the tracks of my partner go down," and he's pointing to this. What is a tunnel in the ground that goes straight down at the base of this meteorite.
Okay.
I'm going to summon my bat familiar or call them in.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys mind if I have a few seconds to prepare some spells? Since I think we're going to be facing some danger, possibly.
Go right ahead.
Okay.
Ash goes over to her. Oh, you were going to say something?
No, go ahead.
Ash goes over to a rock and sits atop it, and he takes out a carving knife and a wishbone. He just pulls it out from underneath his little cloak and starts whittling away runic markings into the wishbone, and then goes over towards, let's say, he's going to give this one to Gretchen. Actually, this one to. What's your character's name? I'm sorry, I forgot. PM Shimrock. Valtif.
Hey, Valtif, can you grab onto the edge of this wishbone? Okay, on 3. 1, 2, and he speaks some strange language for a brief moment. 3. Snap. As it snaps in half, nothing happens. Perfect. Keep that in your pocket.
He puts it in his back pocket, or he puts it into his cloak. He then goes over towards Gretchen and like gives her a little sprinkling of some strange dust, and sprinkles it over himself as well. He mutters a few arcane words, and Gretchen, you add 1d8 to your initiative rolls.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Good
And
choice.
Voltive, you get a d20. So you can, when you roll an attack, ability check, or saving throw, you can choose to roll another d20 and use that instead. It can only work once, and it lasts for an hour.
Wow.
Nice.
I
Okay.
imagine when he did the sprinkle, Gretchen kind of had her mouth open a little bit, and so she's going.
I was thinking you were going to treat it like snowflakes.
I literally have to throw it in your face. I know it's annoying.
Great. That's magic aside. I mean, there's this tunnel here, and you can see Iskavol's tracks head straight to that one. But I have found this other tunnel over here. I don't know which one might be better. I'll leave that to the adventurers here. But I know he's down there. I can sense it.
Does one set of tracks go to one side?
The ones that he is pointing out to you are from his partner Iskavol's that he is pointing. Yeah, he went in this tunnel, and there are no tracks on the other side. But in his reconnaissance while he was here before you guys showed up, I did find another one before those boars came up on me. So I don't know if they go to the same place. I don't know which one's which, but I know Iskavol's boots, and those are them.
Do I feel he's being on a level with us? Can I?
Yeah, you give me a insight check. Insight's the word. Oh, let me give.
Did that work?
You can't really read him. There's like a lot of emotions going on. He's got beaded sweat from the interaction he had with the boars. He's got like some terror in his eyes. So it's hard to really pinpoint what he's saying.
With a 7, I get it.
One must. Okay. I was going to say one must really know someone to know their boot print.
Yeah, I mean, Iskavol and I have been together for almost ever. And he holds up that finger with that ring on it, and he kind of spins it around to you, and see, and it says Iskavol on there. He gave me this, and he has one with my name on it. I would be in debt to all of you if you help me bring him back.
I'm moved by this. This is his their bond has moved me, and so I would be willing to go to find Iskavol.
Thank you. Again, I will definitely be going with you. These firebolts I can shoot off all day. You might need my help. I wouldn't ask you to do anything I wasn't willing to do. Gretchen, Ash, do we still have a deal?
What? I'm sorry, I was staring at the tunnels.
Ash seems to be having a heart attack looking between two tunnels with no information on which is better. Single sweat drop.
Mm-hmm.
If my time with the dwarfs taught me anything, it is really that a bond should not be broken.
He turns to you, Ash.
Yes.
Eyes narrow, slowly hiding within his scarf.
Yes, I will help.
It looks at everybody for confirmation. So there's the nod behind him.
Yes, we're going to help and save The person.
Iskabal.
Iskabal, yes. That I was.
Yes.
Did,
Oh.
did the time with the dwarves help you like determine structural integrity of caves? Like, what do you think one of these going to like collapse on us if we go down it?
Oh, they weren't the underground mining type of dwarves. They were the like go around and make people bleed kind of dwarves.
Oh my gosh, I'm so racist. Oh my gosh, egg on my face.
Favorite kind.
Kill
At-
dwarves.
At this, what is my NPC's name? Torvain is going to like kind of turn his back to the slide and start to climb down next to those same boot tracks that were Iskaval's, and he's going to get down and start the trek down this 40 feet into getting closer to that meteorite. Again, I wouldn't ask you to do anything I wouldn't do, so I'll go first.
I'm right behind him.
And yeah, so 40 feet down. As if you'd like, when you're at the bottom here, you can give me a survival check. As you're kind of seeing, you're picking up more boot prints from Iskaval's that match his, but you are also seeing some different kind of tracks around it that don't make sense to just without closer inspection. If anybody else would like to make a survival check, is the check, you can. Otherwise, he is getting closer and kind of getting ready to go head first into this tunnel.
I rolled a 12.
Okay, perfect.
I rolled a 20.
I was an 8.
Which makes sense given how long I've been analyzing these caves.
Valtiv and Gretchen, you're having a hard time like figuring out. You do see some wolf prints in there, but you can't really figure out what the other ones are. Ash, you're able to pick it out. These are very insect-like, kind of spike. There's no real footprint. It's more of a peg coming down in this pattern that heads straight for that tunnel.
Oh, Gretchen?
I say like just like tapping her on the back because I'm assuming she's the third person in.
Mm-hmm.
There are spike-legged insects going in here, I think. Or spike-legged something.
Well, how do you know it wasn't just a person with a stick?
I mean, the depth of this...
Like a tape measure basically comes out from his cloak and he just like measures into the thing.
Well, the depth of this suggests a weight of about how many pounds, GM?
Pretty heavy. I mean, insects aren't heavy naturally, but this does have, because the ground has been so tilled up from this meteorite crashing, it does go pretty deep in, like an inch or 2 or 3 inches.
Yeah, this would
Go
totally
ahead.
not be the gait of a human either, unless they're like really trying hard to be an insect.
Yeah, you're seeing like sets of 3 on each side with a open space in the middle.
She looks alarmed by the thought of a human trying to act like an insect.
Off slightly in the background, Ash is trying to mimic the walking gait necessary.
Well, we still got to get the Escobar, right?
Oh yeah, just be careful
Oh, okay.
and bring bug repellent. Have it.
So you should see makings of a map towards the top of it. I hope enough is revealed in Roll20. I am not mistaken, am I?
Yeah.
There it is.
Okay, so towards the top it says the Warrens, and you should be able to drag your token out there next to Torvain. So you're kind of in this tunnel, and it's coming down, and then it kind of levels out into this a leveled ground. It is all of this. You're starting to see, especially you, Ash. You're starting to see some of those insect steps translate into carvings on the wall, like this has been carved by some sort of insect. And it's not the meteorite itself that created these tunnels. This is pre-existing tunnels. Oh, it's kind of, and Torvain is turning to you, and it's kind of hot down here. That meteorite must be poking through, and that heat is filling these tunnels.
Hmm.
And he's going to continue forward and kind of turn this corner.
Okay.
I mean, there's only one way to go.
I'm going
I'm
to
glad
wipe
we're
my brow and I'll
happy
follow
Leela.
along.
For the most part, this is lightless. So if you don't have dark vision, it is pretty dim. I'm not going to hold you to the darkness totally. You can see in front of you. But it is pretty dark. The walls are dripping and kind of flow with some, like, the sweat that is coming, like it's like a heat lodge, like a sweat lodge, just kind of pulling the moisture out. And it's pretty like dank down here, and sweaty. Humid would be a good term. We were talking about humidity earlier. I think we'll stick with that. And he does turn. Torvain does come and turn this corner. Oh, this is it. I see it. He calls back to everybody else.
I'd like
Ash is navigating via bat sonar at the moment.
Oh yeah, that's right. You had your familiar out.
Yeah.
I would like to use my light cantrip.
Okay.
My racial trait.
Okay.
So it's good for 1 hour. And for 20 feet.
Perfect. Yeah, so in this tunnel that you are now in, it just lights up 20 feet in front of you. It's very, like, kind of tight quarters on the side. And that glaring light is showing on that side. You can now see those kind of scratch marks, insect-like scratch marks that have carved this tunnel that you couldn't once see when you were on the surface.
Must be a strong bug if it could do that.
Yeah, it definitely has claws or mandibles.
Do we have a ceiling yet?
Yes, it is 30 feet tall. So you kind of come
Okay.
down and then it opens up to 30 feet high. Sorry.
Okay.
And if you're turning the corner with Torvain, you see him, like, hands on his hips, and you see this meteor where it has broken through and penetrated into these caverns. And it goes into, like, from the ceiling to the floor, coming down and going into the ground itself. There are some scatterings of those same crystal shards around the base of this meteor. And as you're standing there and you wait, 10, 15 seconds, you see another shard expel itself from the side of this meteor and fall and clang onto the ground.
Did you see that?
I reach into my bag and, like, hold out one of the shards and see if, like, there's any sort of weird reaction being near to this meteor.
No, not that you could tell. It's got the same pulse, the same kind of low hum that is coming from it, and yeah, nothing is, like, it's not picking up in frequency or in length or power.
Okay. Put it back safely in the bag.
And as you're here, you do see other tunnels kind of go off to the left or right and in front of you. There's no telling where he could be. I don't see any of the tracks. I don't see them anymore.
Well, I'm just going to logic here, but there's a lot of bug tracks, and there were a lot of his tracks, and then his tracks were gone. So I'm going to say he
Gretchen.
probably got. Oh,
Go ahead. I finish your thought.
He probably got eaten by or picked up by bugs.
Gretchen looks over at the group and goes, "You want me to call for him? I've got a loud voice." She opens her mouth up and breathes in like she's gonna like yell into this cavern. Somebody, please, God, stop her.
Small light person just like against your back. It doesn't stop you. It's just like distracting.
What? I do have a loud voice.
No.
No?
I have every confidence in your loud voice. But perhaps in this moment, we should not pincer ourselves in here.
Well, I
You
guess.
see Torvain gets closer to this meteor, and he's kind of like putting his hand close to it and just feeling the warmth. Yeah, this thing is warm, so hot. And as he's got his hand there, right above him, one of those shards starts to come out and clanks down on the ground. Ting, 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 ting.
Maybe you shouldn't do that. I don't know if that's...
Mumbling into his scarf.
Which way? I don't know.
Oh, well, I have a bat that I can send to go scout, and I think I'm going to do that.
Yep.
So I don't know where anything is at the moment because I can't see the map. Lies. So I'm going to send my bat up north, east, in a clockwise direction. Okay. So I'm not actually moving this way, but my bat is.
Yeah.
What's it see?
Let me see here.
Bat just goes squeak, squeak, squeak like a mouse.
You see twisted stalactites up in the ceiling that are kind of like corkscrewing down towards you. You see two ostrich-sized egg nests kind of in the back corner of here. Kind of, they're almost honeycombed in this brown gel. Mm-hmm. That's towards the back of the cavern. Other than that, nothing else is kind of pinging.
Okay. So, gonna come back.
Okay, so my bat says that there are some like egg nests over here. Gonna send him off in this general direction, just see a bunch of caves probably.
Yeah, you see kind of this intertwining kind of bunch of 90-degree turns. And as you keep going through, in this room, it's kind of opening. You see at the very end of it, you see the fading sunlight, like that was the other tunnel coming in, maybe. And on the ceiling, in that little hallway there were yellow kind of bulging membranes that were kind of suctioned to the ceiling. And every now and then, a little drip would fall from them. And it would hit, and as it would hit, there'd be a little sizzle.
Okay.
Is it like yellow mold, or is it like acid, it seems like?
It's more like a sack of something. Yeah, not moldy.
Gonna have to get that later.
And yeah, as you further travel down there, you see like it is the other tunnel.
Okay.
And on your way back, have your bat give me a dex save as it's coming back through that main area.
I do not know what a bat's dex save is.
Look it up. Hey, thanks, Skull Splitter Dice. Thank you for the sub and getting some emotes shared out there. We appreciate it.
I'm going to roll 1d20, and that's +2 for that.
Oh yeah, you're good. As you're kind of this bat is flying through, right behind it, one of those membranes falls down to the ground, and more of that acidic kind of liquid kind of splashes up the wall and starts to sizzle and smoke and then fade away, and your bat's able to just make it out.
Okay. And what are we like? So the bat's taking time. Is anybody else doing anything?
Yeah, what's everybody else doing as this bat's kind of... And Ash, I imagine you're kind of relaying this information?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
You
I'm
said
paying
eggs.
attention to Ash.
Yeah. You said eggs?
Oh yeah, eggs definitely. Like probably insect eggs, maybe
Oh.
alien eggs.
Oh, I thought you meant like chicken eggs.
I mean, like you can eat them. I know a few recipes for it.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Sounds
you want
like
to
good
try one?
protein. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, priority one. We're getting some eggs.
Okay.
I want no part of this.
Yeah, count me out. As your bat goes into this other room, there is this hissing, steaming pool of what looks like acid boiling in the stone floor. It looks to be pretty deep. Yeah, you don't want to get in contact with that.
Okay.
You can give me a perception check from your bat while you're in there.
Bat, give perception check.
Bat perception. It's probably pretty high.
It's a +1.
You think a bat would be more perceptive than that?
Yeah. Yeah, you can't see anything outside of just that pool. That kind of steam is coming up, and like these bubbles will set up on top, and then kind of open up some
17, wow.
steam.
Okay. Bat is going to come on back then.
Okay, I scouted out some of the areas. There's still some more to go, but yeah, eggs up there, other eggs up there, acid there. There seem to be some other tunnels here and here. What do we want to do?
But no Escobar?
You didn't see Escobar, did you?
I didn't see Escabald yet.
Damn it. He has to be in here. I mean,
Maybe
he
he's being
went.
fed to the eggs.
We should probably go look. He wasn't in the egg sacs, was he?
I didn't see him, but I was also using sonar.
Oh. Yeah, let's go take a look.
Meanwhile, further down on the screen, why isn't anybody saving me?
Can't metagame, sorry.
Yeah, not here. Not today. So as Ash, did you walk in or is that your bat?
I'm walking in. Fuck me.
As you walk in, give me a dexterity save.
I'm actually not terrible at these. Fuck my life.
This spray of acid comes from one of the stalactites that are up on the ceiling, comes falling down on you and covering you, and you take 8 points of acid damage because you failed.
This is fascinating and terrifying.
I think we're going to go ahead and roll initiative at this point. I like that idea.
Fuck you thing. I get a plus D8 in my initiative too.
Oh, sorry, I hit it twice.
Oh, it's okay. I was like, I'm trying to use D&D Beyond, and it was like not rolling for me.
Oh, yeah. If you can do it in Roll20, that's great. If not, I can add you in. It looks like most of you are going.
Yeah, look at that one.
Let me...
That would have been a 17 initiative. Now it's an 18. Fuck you.
I rolled a 6. It rolled in D&D Beyond. So
Okay. I'll add you in there as a 6.
Don't forget, you also get my 1d8 because I
yeah.
spell.
That's true. Let me add that.
Yeah, roll that.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, for people viewing, Ash has a special thing. He's able to take longer to cast spells to add meta magic into it. So he twinned both of those spells he cast. Unfortunately, he's not a very good spontaneous caster.
So
10?
Gretchen,
There's a 10.
10 total or add 10 to that?
It's
okay.
A 10 total.
Okay.
She rolled a 10 on it, 1d8.
It looks like
Perfectly normal, right?
Featherfall in the chat is gifting you all a D4, so you can have a extra D4 to any roll that you may encounter here. Descending. Okay, let's do this. I have to reveal some tokens here. Move that. Hopefully, does that little bug creature show up for you? I think it does.
Yes, it does.
Okay, yeah, that is the one that sprayed you, Ash. And it's coming.
Mhm.
The stalactite now kind of uncorkscrewed a little bit, and you now see like these beady bug eyes and some antennae, and some of those insect legs that were making the marks outside kind of start to unwrap, and it is now looking like it's getting ready to fall upon you.
Okay. Ash briefly laments, "Why the fuck does my poncho not have a hood? This sucks." As he runs quickly behind Gretchen.
Yeah, no opportunity attack because it is 30 feet up on that ceiling, so you're able to run underneath it. You're out of melee range.
And he is going to proceed to, like, as he, like, falls behind her, he, like, gets to the ground and starts, like, his hand starts, like, popping out from his poncho, and it's, like, one candelabra, one candelabra, one candelabra. And he's just setting up on the ground.
Okay, give me a second. I just need to cast some stuff. You guys do it. You guys, good luck.
All right. Next to that one, another one comes into view, and it drops to the floor. That'll take some of its speed. 5, 10, 15. It's still able to get into you, Gretchen. This bug just uncurls from that stalactite, making what remains up there a very small stalactite. Most of it was this bug, and it kind of flops to the ground, and it hisses at you that same acid spray. So go ahead and give me a dex save, Gretchen.
Okay.
Ouch. I don't want to tell you what I rolled for damage, but it's pretty good.
Well,
You do have a D4 that you can add to this if you'd like.
Oops, I don't know what happened.
Oh, it attacked him? It attacked her?
Yeah, it spits some acid.
Wow.
I see. Dex save.
Ugh, it's not rolling. It's like telling me unrecognized command. I must be doing it wrong.
On the side, the little toolbar on the left, there's a little drop
I
down.
see. Absolutely.
It doesn't add your modifier, so you'd have
okay.
to add that in, but you can just verbalize that to me.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's enough. You save. Otherwise, you're gonna take 16 points of acid damage. On a 3d6, I rolled 16. So you take half that.
Okay.
Which is 8 points of acid damage, as this is now like getting up on its back legs, and these two big tunneler kind of arms, they got these big scooped kind of blades on it, are starting to come down on you as well. That makes it your turn, Gretchen.
I am going to unhook my mighty warhammer and go ahead and swing on the one that just attacked me.
Okay.
20.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
Definitely hits. I have proficiency. Hold up. I was trying to be cool and do it all in D&D Beyond, but now it's like glitching out on me.
Oh,
so
awesome! Yeah, of course.
Oops. +3 to that.
7 points of damage on that guy. Yeah, so you're able to come in and like it's some of its chitinous kind of backplating. You're able to start to crack through and break. It lets out this kind of this chittery kind of sound, and as it does that, you see two other ones that are on the ceiling wake up.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So 4 total that you can see.
You now have permission to battle roar.
Anything else, Gretchen?
No. Nope, not right now. I should have raged, but that would have been cool. But
PJ or Patrick, sorry.
Oh, that's fine. I have 5 javelins. I'd like to throw one at the first one that started to descend, the one that sprayed ash. It's still in the air, right? Or still?
That one. No, that one came down and is in front of Gretchen now.
Okay, well, there was another one, right?
Yeah, there are 3 still up on the ceiling, and one has descended and fallen to Gretchen.
I misunderstood. Then I'll go after the one that's in front of Gretchen.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a attack roll with the javelin.
See if this works. That's a 13.
13 is gonna just hit.
And that's 5 piercing.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so now it has, on the other side of that kind of backplated armor, now has a javelin sticking out of it. And again, that same kind of howl comes out of its mouth, causing great damage. That makes it... Anything else?
I think with my movement, I would get closer to it now so I can engage in hand-to-hand now instead of from a distance.
Okay. Yeah, so you get up into melee next to Gretchen, for sure. That makes it... This one falls down and comes running and skittering towards Gretchen. Another dex save.
Oh. 19.
19, yeah, you save. That's going to be 6 points of acid damage when you're taking half. So 6 total.
6 total damage. Jeez.
This one falls down and it is looking at you, Ash. Same acid spray. Dex save.
Okay. 14.
Yeah, you save. 6, 7. So you take 3 points of acid damage.
Owie. Again, no hood. Bad idea, me.
This one comes running up to you. It does not have its acid spray. It is going to kind of open up its 2 front arms. It's on its hind back 4 legs, and it's going to try to bite down on you, Valtiv. That's an 8 to hit. Probably not going to do it.
No.
Yeah. Back to you, Ash. All 4 have dropped from the ceiling and are now kind of encasing Gretchen and Valtiv. There's one in melee range. Oh, where is Torvain? Torvain should have gone in there somewhere. He's going to cast a firebolt at the one next to you, Ash, because that is what is closest that hits. And that's going to take 4 damage. So go ahead, Ash, sorry.
Okay. Ash is going to take a little small magic light and pass it over each of the little candelabras, lighting each one. And standing at the center, he's going to a single hand is going to poke out from his poncho, holding a red scale. And he is going to say, "Okay, tear open the Dragon King's maw and draw forth his I'm sorry." Tear open the Dragon King's maw and draw forth his righteous flame. I call upon thee to reduce this world to cinders. Agonazar Scorcher, answer me! And he is going to move around, take the attack of opportunity to get to this position, and a line of flame straight through these 3.
Okay. Yeah, a whiff on the attack of opportunity. Chills down the spine in chat there. Yeah, go ahead. So what is that for?
And that is going to be a 3d8. And this is going to be augmented with empowered metamagic.
Is it a save on my end at all?
Dex save.
Okay.
As Ash takes the scale and drives it into the earth, and there's a crack that rips out along the line, and seemingly magma, though it's really more fire, erupts from the ground along the line of this.
Sweet. So the very first one rolled 6 total on his save. The second one rolled 15. And the third one
Okay.
rolled a 16.
Okay, 2 pass, 2 fail.
Okay, so the first one
pass, 2 fail. No. Ugh. 1 6
2 succeeded, 1 failed.
There we go.
There we go. Okay.
No.
Yeah, so the one closest to you failed, so he's going to take all 14 points of that.
1 sec. I'm going to do the Empower Meta Magic. Try to reroll that 3. Let's see. Okay, 15 damage instead.
15 damage there and 7 for the other two.
Yep.
Okay. The one in that first kind of showed its head, this one, oops, get back over there. He's looking pretty rough. The rest are still okay. They are kind of inflamed, but anything else, Ash?
That is unfortunately all I can do now. Sweat.
All right. This one here, that one, that's looking pretty rough. It's going to take a bite at you, Gretchen. Nope, that's going to be a 4 to hit. Not going to do it. Leads us to you.
All right. Gretchen, upon like all of the epicness that was that last spell, she does her arms up in the air and then like pulls them down hard and just like screams and like goes into a rage. And she swings on the one that's looking rough.
Yeah, that'd be the third one in the line there. Yeah, give me an attack roll.
12.
12 total.
Yes.
Yeah, that does not hit. You actually do kind of catch some of its that back plating, but it just kind of
You
glances
should
off the
re-roll
side.
that.
You do
I'm
have a
going to burn one of my
D4.
points.
Oh,
Yeah, I
actually,
could
you can use the D4.
Yeah.
Oh,
4.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you hit. You're able to kind of catch into one of those cracks that's already created in its backplate, and you're just able to split it even wider. Give me some damage, and we'll see what's left of this thing.
Damage. That's it. Oh.
Oh.
So I rolled a 1, but I plus 3 to
Did you get the rage damage?
no.
+2.
Yes.
So 6 total.
Yes, 6 total. There you go.
All right.
I did forget one thing. Advantage on
Go
this guy is attacking, like advantaging
Which one?
this guy right here.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be most likely Valtive. Gretchen, as you kind of split this crack wider in its backplate, you see one of those glowing crystals somehow got lodged underneath this plate. And as you kind of look around at the others, all of them have a crystal lodged in kind of the underbelly, underside, almost seeming like it couldn't get through the plate itself. So it has just kind of found a spot to come in. So all 4 of these are emanating that same amber shard. Anything else, Gretchen?
Is it plausible that I would reach down and try to rip it out?
The crack is it would take an action to kind of get in there and kind of brute strength it open and be able to pull it out of this one. Some of the others where they're a little more exposed in the underbelly, you could do kind of a grapple and pull. But yeah, it would be an action to pull that out if you'd like.
Well, I think I've already used my action, right?
Yes, you have.
Yeah. So I'll wait till next turn.
Okay. Valtive.
All right. Excuse me. The one right next to me. I'm going to try to attack it.
Yeah, you have advantage given to you by Ash.
How do I make that work in roll 20? An idea?
Usually, like if we would have made character sheets, you'd just click that. But if you go over to the left-hand side, there's a little dice on the second one from the bottom.
Oh, there we go.
And you can go down to the D20 and click on the 2, and it should roll both. Yeah, so 1's an 11, and then you'd have to manually add your modifier, as we don't have our character sheets up and running.
Star, where the heck are you? We could use your help.
My modifier is +4, so it's going to be 15.
Yeah, 15 hits. So you're able to come down with that long sword and catch a piece of its plating and leg.
And I'm using my longsword two-handed, so it's, let's see, 1d10 +2.
Yeah, so 8 points of damage coming down on this guy. Yeah, and as you kind of like cleave off its middle leg, it exposes one of those amber shards there that you can now see for sure, kind of lodged in the side of it. Anything else, Valtif?
I just want to yell now, it's the crystals! It's the crystals! Now that we can all see what's going on.
That moves us to the one at the very top. It's going to turn to you, Ash, as you just had this big wall of flame coming at it, and it's going to take a bite at you.
You should be afraid. It's fire. Run, Doug.
That's 15 plus +2, 17.
That is enough to hit my 16 AC.
You take 5 points of slashing.
Do I want to try to cast shield? Gosh, I'm only going to get hit by one hit, aren't I? So 5 points?
Yeah.
Okay. Owie.
That brings us to Torvain. He's going to move up closer into the kind of fray here. Let me pull up his character sheet. He's going to come in and kind of off to the side. He is going to, again, he's going to firebolt that one that's in front of you, Ash. That hits. That's a 17 to hit. Ooh, a 10. Yeah, that one in front of you, Ash, is now looking pretty rough.
Okay.
And this one is going to turn to you, Gretchen. Is going to take a bite attack. Not going to do it with a 5. Valtiv, the one down by you, is going to attack. That's a 14 to hit.
Nope.
It does not. That brings us to you, Ash.
I see. Well,
So how's this guy looking here?
That one and the one kind of in the middle are rough, real rough.
So who's looking the worst right now?
That would be this one.
how the turns have tabled. Do not worry, Gretchen. I will protect you. Just give me a second.
He drops something like some bell falls around. Oh no, I need that. He leans over, picks up the bell.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding.
And give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh. What's the wisdom of these guys? Probably not pretty good. Come on.
DC 15.
I rolled a 10. Let's see what their
That is not
wisdom.
gonna be
Nope, that's not going to be enough. So yeah, that one in the middle of those 3 there fails that save.
Turn.
And he is going to basically mercy kill it. Take 9 necrotic damage.
Yeah, how do you want to do it? How do you want to do this? That's how it goes.
The ringing seems to fill the room, bouncing off the walls, and closing in around this creature, and it just seems to get tired. Its wounds succumbing to its wounds, and just collapses to the ground and slowly drifts off to sleep forever.
And its legs that were once supporting it kind of like collapse underneath it, falls down, and as it hits the ground, that shard migrates out of its side, much like coming out of the meteor, and clings down onto the ground, and that one is no more.
Stop looking at me. Stop looking at me. It's still looking at me.
Gretchen, what would you like to do? You have 2 kind of around you that are causing you some trouble.
I'm going to try to grab the one directly in front of me.
Okay.
And try to rip open that carapace.
Yeah.
Should I say that word? And then it's like one of those words I've only ever read that word.
Right. I've never said this out loud.
And wrench it open and pull
Okay.
that shard out.
Yeah, give me a athletics check as you're kind of coming in there and separating shell from
Oh, I'm good at these.
body. And do you have advantage if you're raging?
Yes.
I believe you do.
It's a strength
Yeah.
check. Yeah.
Yeah, so give me that strength check with advantage.
Okay.
That's enough. The second one with the advantage is enough to kind of separate it up, and you do see that shard kind of in there humming.
Oh. Yeah, pulling that bad boy out.
Okay, with that same check, you're able to all in kind of one maneuver, use your barbaric strength and pull that one out. As you do that, you do see it kind of relax and back up. We'll say backs up 5 feet as it's kind of moving away from you now that shard has been pulled and removed from it.
So is it backing up because it's no longer as aggressive, or is it backing up like I don't want to even fight you?
A little bit of both. It's obviously scared of you because you just kind of separated its body, but it's also like that whatever that drive was that was pushing it to get in your face has now been removed.
Oh, okay. Gretchen is gonna hold up the shard in the air and be like, "Yeah!"
Anything else, Gretchen?
Getting into it.
Bonus action.
I have a good frenzy. Make a single bonus action. I guess. Let me just use my bonus action to do a frenzy attack.
Okay.
I'm gonna hit the other one that's right next to me.
All right.
With my hammer. So just like holding up the shard with one and got the hammer, which is a war hammer. So she I guess, let me think about this. So she's going to swing down. She does it up in the air and then throws it against the wall and then grabs her war hammer to come down all in one sort of like fluid flow.
Yeah, love it. Make that attack.
I can totally see that.
Yeah.
12.
Not enough. You're almost too focused on this awesome shard that's in your hand as you're like throwing it as graceful as you can, and then at the same time, it's almost an afterthought to do this attack down. You do kind of hit the ground right next to it, missing, but it was beautiful. And
Scream like angrily next to this bug.
It looked really cool. All right, Valtiv, that leads us to you. You have one in front of you that's it's looking okay. Again, you can see that shard kind of sticking out underneath its that back carapace plate piece.
You know what? Let me try to pull the shard.
Yep.
It worked with Gretchen. Let me try that also.
Perfect. Give me a strength check there.
11.
11. Not quite enough. You're distracted by trying to get some of those claws, those tunneler arms that are in front, and those insect mandibles that are chomping at you, trying to get them out of the way as you're trying to grab this piece out, and you got it about halfway to come out, but you can't quite get the rest of it to kind of break that bond. Anything for a bonus?
No.
Okay. So this one that the shard has been removed is going to skitter back. Ash, you could get attack of opportunity on it if you'd like, but it's going to keep moving and kind of get and nestle in behind this egg sack and start to kind of crawl up the wall back that way.
Nah, man, we're Gucci.
This one, Torvain is going to come up, seeing an opportunity here, seeing that Gretchen is in with the other one. It's going to come up behind it, and it's going to try to pull that shard out. Not going to do it with 10. I almost got it. Keep holding him, Gretchen. And it is that one's turn. It's going to attack you, Gretchen, with a 12. I don't think it's going to do much.
No.
Nope. That's a miss. Valtiv, that one's going to attack you. Ooh, that's a 19 plus 2, so 21.
That hits.
4 points of slashing damage as its bite kind of... You got this one arm up trying to defend it as you're pulling it out, and it kind of clamps down on your forearm. Ash.
Ash is going to back up a little bit, like look back at this guy over here staring back at Gretchen.
Hey, could you like imagine if she got one of those shards stuck in her? Like, how angry do you think she could get?
Very angry.
Because he's like, berserker rage, extra berserker rage.
Exactly.
Add shard. Oh no.
So, I'm just gonna try to help out my friends. What do I got to help out? Okay. Maybe slow them down a little bit. I'm going to cast Frostbite on this one here, because this one's barely even hurt, so it's probably going to get another attack on.
Okay.
Give me a con saving throw.
That's a 4.
You take your 1d6 cold damage. 2. His toes are cold.
And disadvantage on the next attack. All right. Anything else, Ash?
Well, I'm useful.
Gretchen.
Help action here, over here. With the bat.
Okay.
Yeah, Gretchen is since her hammer landed on the ground next to it, she just lets her hammer go and just leaves it on the ground there and digs her hands into the carapace again and just pulls it open.
All right. I'll give you advantage here because Torvain is behind, kind of, wrestling it a little bit.
Wrestling. Ooh.
Yeah, you needed it. Yeah, you're able to just punch through and just rip it out and then pull that, killing it in the wake of all that. It does, as you pull it out, it just kind of go lifeless at your feet, but you do have the crystal shard.
Ah, we did it.
Nice, Gretchen. There's still one more. Valdiv, that leads us to you.
Yeah, I'm not doing so well here. I'd like to try again to
advantage with the familiar there, kind of distracting this Ankh egg there.
So that's 1.
Okay.
So I advantage.
Yeah, go ahead and give me another roll there.
7 or a 9, right?
Oh man. Yeah.
Wow.
So not enough. You're just still trying to. This thing's moving just a little too much to be able to kind of get a strong enough grip on it to pull it out. The one in the back still cowers in the corner. Torvain is going to come over and kind of show himself. He's going to firebolt that one that's moving around. That is a 12. They're not going to hit. Number 1 is dead. That leads it to number 4. He's going to try to bite you again, Valtiv. Oh, geez. That's a 19 plus 2.
It hits.
That's going to be 6 points of slashing as those mandibles, bug-like mandibles, come down and crunch your forearm one more time. Ash.
Yeah, so everyone thinks that she learned how to do that, dig her bare hands in a carapace thing from the doors, but I actually saw her do it when we were kids. Kind of crazy. Oh, you're still fighting that one? Let me help. Don't worry, I've got your back. Frostbite, con save, go.
Con save. Ooh. That's a 17 plus 1, 18.
Well, I'm useful. Going back to talk to my egg, buddy. How you doing?
All right, Gretchen.
Gretchen, who was so excited because she, again, just right in front of her face, she's getting them. She grabs. Then when someone said there's another one, she's like, "Oh, there's another one!" And she grabs her warhammer and holds it up, and it's got this because on it is inscripted the words "Snow Fight." And she's like, "Snow fight!" And then runs and that's her battle cry. And then goes to hit this one with her hammer.
Perfect. Give me a attack roll.
Ugh, garbage.
Snow Might?
Snow Mike?
I don't. I'm sorry. That's a miss. Sorry.
That's a
Any bonus?
no.
All right, Valtive, back to you.
This is the crafty one. He's
He's
around and
hitting on his bites and dodging.
This one's actually a slightly different color. It's hard to tell, but he's a mini boss.
This is actually the big bad. Are you giving me an attack on this guy?
I'm trying to.
Are you going to try to pull? You do have a hand on the crystal shard, so you can give me a strength if you want to try to get it out, or abandon that and go back to a longsword attack. It's up to you.
No, let me try. I think it'd be a complete action for me to disengage and then re-engage. So let me try.
Okay.
Pulling this shard out.
Perfect. So
a whopping 4.
We're struggling here.
Oh my gosh, we're
A folly of errors here.
Wow.
Your hand just kind of slipped off the end of it, and now it's kind of like wiggling and writhing around that you lost track of it for a second.
Wait.
Torvain's gonna come up, and he sees what we're trying to do here. He's gonna come up and try to do it. Let's see. What is his strength modifier? Because I rolled the DC's 15 to pull it out. I rolled a 14. This guy is a mage. So let me get to his character sheet. His strength is -1, so he does not get it. He is just kind of around it, and now kind of, I'm going to say he'll give advantage to whoever tries next, as he is flanking and on the other side. Which would be, this one's going to take a bite attack at Valtive. 18 to hit.
Wow. Yes.
I'm sorry, man. It's dropping 4 slashing. That brings us to Ash.
I don't know what to do.
He's like looking at
I don't know what to do. I'm going to try to cheer you on. Go, you can do it. Violin is our man. Surprisingly good for me, actually.
I think you've given Gretchen advantage on any attack or strength check here with that performance.
He already had it, but now he has it again.
So that leads us to you, Gretchen.
Gretchen, like, mad that her hammer missed, and how could it be so traitorous, throws it to the ground and reaches down and just does her whole, like, manhandle this.
All right, let's do it.
Carapace.
Look for that magic 15. Yeah, that's enough.
Oh.
Just in this blind rage, finally, just end this. You pull it. You don't kill this one, but it immediately starts to like skitter around that corner and up the wall and just vacating the area.
Jeez, when you took that course in animal handling, this is not what I thought you meant.
I handle, and she like got her like the shard up in the air, and then she like throws it down to the side. She's like, I did this as a child. That's how I know. You remembered. I can't believe you remembered all of those deer carcasses I used to rip apart.
It's usually pretty hard to forget trauma.
Torvain is kind of gathering himself. Right? I'm okay. Valtive, how about you? You seem to be struggling a little bit.
I am both physically damaged and emotionally damaged. I am ashamed. I am ashamed.
It happens to the best of us. It's okay. Well, that's one room down. Should we keep going?
I really want to get one of these eggs right now. I mean, we came all the way over here.
They're in there.
Looks at the little ant eggs, slowly walks towards them, looks at them like, you gonna try anything, motherfuckers?
Yeah, as you get closer, these ones kind of get up closer into the corner, getting as far away from you as possible. They look protective, but they're also fairly damaged that they're not going to do much.
Okay, cover my back. I'm going to get an egg. Reaches into the gloop, grabs one.
It's this very thick gel, like aloe vera kind of gel that you pull yourself out, and it covers your forearm. But you do have an egg that is ostrich sized, pretty big. Probably weighs like a pound or two, just rather large.
Good. Slowly shuffles out. I got dinner.
We better go.
While he was doing that and getting it, and since he said watch his back, Gretchen is doing her very Planet of the Apes style, doing her paper up in the air, looking at the ones up in the corner, come on.
Total distraction. Love it. Ash, did your friend, your bat friend, did he see anything else?
Let me go check.
Bat friend, roll perception check to just scan in general where the cave stuff is.
Yeah, we'll do a general perception check for kind of the rest of, and we can call this a short rest for anybody. We'll go ahead and roll some hit dice if you need to gain back whatever you gain back on a short rest. As this bat kind of
that's a 12 because they have advantage apparently.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, 12. Yes, and you can use lay on hands on yourself, Baltif.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm going to have to. I'm down to 7 points.
Oof. Yeah. So as you guys are kind of cleaning yourself up and healing where you can, your bat does come across someone in this corner and one in this corner.
Okay.
So there are two different bodies. And Torvair's like, what do you see? Describe them. Maybe I can help.
Well, I open my mouth and the GM narrates for me.
Yeah, that's where I come in. On one side, you see an half elven woman over here, crystal shard in her arm, and just kind of slumped in the corner, breathing slowly. And on the other side, you see a tiefling, blue skin, horns that come around, white sharp teeth, and this black tongue that kind of clears the edges of her mouth, or his mouth every now and then. Kind of dug in these husks of some of the ankegs that have molted out of their cells. He's kind of dug in, almost hiding.
Okay.
Also, anybody that recovers spends hit die, you get an extra point because I'm cooking. And you get extra point per hit die you spend. And I'm cooking this fucking ankeg egg.
Vengeance never tasted so sweet.
So
I will.
Ash,
Go ahead. Go ahead, Balti.
So Ash has reported back what the bat sees about the half-elven woman and the tiefling male.
Yeah. Torvair will definitely be tiefling. That's him.
That's what I wanted to know.
That's the one. Yeah, he's a he and a tiefling for sure.
He seemed to be hiding, so he probably has a little bit of time. I would like to go rescue that elf woman too first.
Well, let's move quickly.
Boy, oh boy, I sure hope she doesn't awaken when we get there.
Ash, give me a persuasion check on trying to go do the one before the other.
Oh, sure. My persuasion.
Can I help?
Fuck you and your mother.
You can throw some -2. That's nice. You can throw in some help there, and either grant inspiration or with your words, you can roll as well.
Well, to be more realistic of how he'd try to sway.
Maybe we should probably go. I don't know, help the lady.
looks around for confirmation.
I don't know. It's just kind of maybe she has less time.
The woman, the elven woman, is kind of like looking rough and kind of slumped over, heavy breathing, labored breathing.
But like, I get it if you don't want to do that, so we can go after the other one instead if you want.
Valti, there we go. I mean,
God.
I rolled a 2, so you're gonna get it, I think. Whatever we do, we just have to make it fast. So yeah, he'll follow you into that to the where the elven woman is, and it's in that bigger room towards the bottom left.
Okay.
We'll just kind of like get you into that room. You see this half elven woman kind of slumped over. You see a deer that has been kind of ripped apart next to her. There's a dead ankeg, and they're kind of like bound in place with these yellow webs that you see throughout the caves here. She does have a crystal shard in her arm, but doesn't seem to be like agitated or violent or aggressive as you walk in. She does kind of like pick up her eyes to you. Unnatural evil is driving these things, and she kind of looks down to her forearm with that shard in there. She's got freckles, this like raven black hair. You can see wolf bites on her. Please help. And she kind of like grasps at the shard but can't quite grab it and pull it out.
Okay, don't worry, I'll help you. Someone please help her.
Can I try a medicine?
Yeah, you can give me a medicine check. And it, Gretchen, what were you saying?
Oh, I was going to say Gretchen's going to go over there and rip it out, but let's do the medicine check.
Well, so go ahead and give me a medicine check, and then we'll rip this guy out. Ooh. Oh man, Patrick.
You should re-roll that.
You had bad luck there.
My chrono magic.
Can I use the re-roll for this one, please?
Yeah. This might be a good time because a failed medicine check is never good.
You don't have to burn yours. I'm going to use my reaction to let you re-roll.
There you go.
So I'm a +2. Oh, so a 9.
9, close. You could tell she's suffering. Are you trying to stabilize, or are you just trying to assess?
Trying to stabilize her.
Yeah, you can't quite get there. There's just so many bites and wounds, and the shard is doing a number on her that you don't know where to start. You're kind of like analysis paralysis. It's. Okay. Which one would you start with first? And you're struggling a little bit. You don't do any further harm to her, but you don't help, unfortunately. And she keeps like kind of scratching at this shard. Help, remove, get it out.
I've got a plan. Do you think you can help me?
No plans necessary. Gretchen goes over and just rips it out.
All right, give me a strength check there.
Like the Band-Aid.
Yeah, just do
20.
it. Yeah, that's enough. You're able to pull it out, and the same, just like the boars, some blood starts to come out, and she kind of slumps over and falls to her side, just in a state of relax, like trying to as much comfort as she can.
Oh,
thank you. She's on death's door, but she's not quite there yet. She reaches up behind her neck and unclasps this necklace. It's got a couple bones in it, like wolf's teeth, kind of sewn in and woven in like hemp-like material, and it's got a bigger piece of the breastplate, what looks like a flat bone. Maybe it could be like a rib or a breastplate of a wolf, and it's got some runic carves. Take this. And she kind of like hands it out, and hand falls down. It's almost too heavy for her at this point. It will help.
I would like to use one of like the healing kit thingamajig if possible.
Okay.
Yeah. Apply. Do I have to roll a medicine to use this, or?
Yeah, that'd be a medicine check.
Okay.
You can do it. I believe in you. It's gonna work.
You have more self-confidence than I have
All right.
today.
You're able to kind of like open up this kit and get some salves and enough like bandaging material to stop some of the bigger wounds that are there. Kind of comforts her a little bit. She is able to sit back up. Thank you for coming. The
I have a
wolves
lot
said,
of experience doing this.
thank
He
you.
does not look at anyone in particular.
Gretchen is going to close her hand back around the necklace and say, "Keep it. You will have more days."
She kind of clasps it almost like rosary beads and kind of wraps it around, kind of putting some of her fingers through and kind of holding onto that main breastplate piece and holds it closer to her. Those bugmen took those shards and stabbed it into my arm. You don't have any in you, do you?
Gretchen looks up and down around her like, I better not.
As soon as it entered my skin, I could feel this yelling in my head. It was telling me and forcing me to do things I would never do. It's best that you leave this place. And Torvirsa, only after we get my friend.
We've got somebody to rescue. We're heroes after all.
Torvain's actually gonna like leave the room and start to make. I don't know if we can help her anymore, but she's given us enough.
Okay. We're going to come back and grab you, okay? You sit tight and play dead.
You can with that medicine check. We'll say she's stable. She's kind of settled. And Torvain is going to kind of go up and through those uncharted we're not in the tavern yet. Those cavernous tunnels and make it into that room with those husks. And as you enter, if everybody's following, you hear that voice of Iskavol kind of like nestled into those husks saying, "Get out of my mind! Get out! Get out!" And at that, Torvain's going to run and just start pulling husks away and get to Iskavol and pulls him up and kind of sets him, "Stop! It's okay! It's okay!" And he kind of like grabs him by the face and like stares into his eye. "It's going to be okay." He's at this point now he's like kind of looking for any sort of shards that may be within him. What's everybody else doing?
Ash is sprinkling. Ash is sprinkling ash on the ground. He just crouched down with he like pulls a twig out of nowhere and just starts like drawing circles in the ash.
All right.
No explanation.
Torvain's gonna call, "I need help. I need to get to his back. He's got one in his back. Help me!"
I will rush right up there with Torvain. I will hold Iskaval, against me, facing me, so his back is out towards presumably Gretchen, because she's the one that's good at this. I'm not.
As soon as you kind of get him rolled over, Torvain starts to pull on the shard. He can't get it, and you can see him just like frustratingly start to dig at it and try to pull. "I can't get it. Gretchen, help me, please, help."
Gretchen comes up and just like wraps her arms around Torvain and like grabs where like right above where he's grabbing and just yanks.
Yeah, you can give me if they're both doing it, we'll say it's going to happen. You're able to just kind of all of your strength pull it out, and you Valti feel that body what was kind of stiff and tense kind of go a little limp in your arms. And Torvain goes to kind of grabs Iskavol by the shoulders and roll him around and just like embraces him very hard and just kind of like holds him close. and it kind of pulls him and sits back on his rear end and just holding him, and you could see him start to kind of cry a little bit. Torvain is. What's everybody else doing?
How does Iskoval look for health? I mean, does he look...
He looks a little wounded. I mean, he had that shard kind of in his back that caused some damage. He's stable, but yeah, probably like half health if we had to quantify.
So nowhere near the elven woman.
No, the elven woman is like 1 hit point with that medicine check. Iskoval, it is good to have you back in my arms. Thank you, and he's looking up to all of you. Thank you, everyone. I couldn't have done it by myself. Iskoval, what are you doing down here? And just those tears start to kind of, and you can hear his voice start to choke up, and Torvain is just not letting go, really gripped on. Iskoval tries to break the embrace a little bit and kind of like sits side by side. Torvain, you made friends. That's shocking. And he's kind of like trying to bring some levity to the situation. Again, blue tiefling, sharp white teeth. His black tongue is kind of like, again, cleaning corners of his mouth. Torvain, it's not like you to put yourself in danger, but I thank you, and he looks up to all of you. I thank all of you. I appreciate it. I would not have made it out of here on my own. And just like kind of catching breath. Did you happen to see any of them pass through the meteorite?
No.
Pass through.
I caught the glimpse of one of these insects and he'll hold up that shard that you pulled out of his back. Was able to disappear into the meteorite and go somewhere else. I don't know. I was not brave enough to try. I came in here and cowered in this corner until you came and found me. I would imagine if there's a hive mind or a brain of whatever this is, these shards, whatever's controlling it, must be through there.
If there is some evil that is going to continue polluting this land, I believe it is our responsibility to stop it.
I say, having finished my incantations. And with that, he raises his hand and strikes the ashes. And as he does, they turn almost volcanic. He scoops them up in his hand and closes his fist around it. You can hear the sizzling inside of it.
I've got a spell ready for them.
I put my hand on Torvain's shoulder, and I tell him to get Iskoval out of here. Bring him to safety.
We can help. We can fight, right? Iskoval, you. And he looks and again, like seeing those eyes, and he clasps his hands, and as he brings up his hands, you see on Iskoval that same style of ring with the same lettering font, and it says Torvain on it. We better go. We'll escort that the elven woman out too, and you thank you again, and I again find me, and we'll get those magic items crafted for you. And he kind of gets Iskoval up on his shoulder, and they're both kind of carrying each other at this point, and they do get up and make their way out as per your order.
One day I will find someone to love as much as those two love each other.
Aww. That poor person.
Well. On to smashing.
Today's not
Didn't
that
say
day.
anything.
So you're kind of, we could say you've cleared this level of the dungeon. The last thing to check out is that lead of what Iskoval said about creatures with an implanted shard is able to pass through.
Are you guys ready?
Let's
It
do it.
needs to be stopped.
Do you think I should change spells? Like, I mean, I could probably do a different. Maybe. It looks at you guys. No, we're ready. We can do this. It's going to be all right. But really, are you sure I've got the right spell? I mean, I've got a burning hands. Never mind. Let's go.
Gretchen's already walking towards it.
Okay, let's move.
I imagine you've all picked up a shard at this time, and you're heading towards it.
Wait, woman, does that like wolf charm do anything, or is it just like a consolation?
It does. It is a magical item, but she's now reclasped it onto her neck, and I'm gonna say they are gone.
Damn it!
She tried to give you a magic eye. That's all right. It was something special to her that she was giving. But so as you get closer to it, and you're holding this shard, and who is getting close to it? I don't want to.
I mean, I'm in the back.
Yeah, Gretchen's probably first. Just
Okay.
knowing her.
With it on your person as you're holding it, it's almost like this cooling water. Even though it's like hot to the touch, as soon as you enter it, it's cooling on your skin. If you can't breathe water, you do have to hold your breath. But if you're brave enough to step all the way in, you do kind of almost vacuum tube down to the end of this meteor. And if everybody's following, I'll take you to a different map.
Oh boy!
Let's go.
All right.
Once more into the brink.
So you should be in the sub-crater map. Hopefully you can see everything. We'll say this pops you out like right up here to the north side of this, and you can see the meteor does not quite make contact with the ground. It's the same 30-foot cavern like before. There are the acid pools there, and the tip of this meteor does not quite touch the ground, and you kind of come like a water slide come shooting out onto the ground. On the other side of this meteor, you do see like a concentrated piece of this amber material. What would you guys like to do as you are in this room?
Gretchen's gonna walk over to that concentrated piece.
Okay.
And just put her hammer down, like sling her hammer down on top of it.
Okay. As you kind of come up and get closer to it, give me a strength save.
Wow. 23.
Look at you. This huge gust of wind comes and tries to like push you, but you're able to dig your heels in and come in, and go ahead and give me that attack.
Ah. 10.
Well, this is a weird little creature, so a 10 could hit, but my sheets are having a hard time loading as I'm scrolling up and down. Actually, a 10 does not hit. You do clang off of it and like send some sparks and some of the smaller pieces of the shard flying out. Anyone else want to do something to this? This will be kind of like the boar encounter. We won't roll initiative. We'll kind of just free flow this.
Yeah.
But you do see that same kind of pulsing glow, even brighter and strong, as each individual crystal shard.
Eye open for any enemies that might be popping
Okay.
in. Because this person said insect people. I remember that.
And following Gretchen's lead, I will attack the shard.
Yeah, give me another strength save as this gust of wind comes trying to push you away. Nice, very nice. Yeah, you're able to again dig your heels in, like grab onto Gretchen's arm to kind of get yourself forward, and then go ahead and give me that attack.
8.
We can't roll the
Good at resisting wind, at least.
So on the map, you can see there's like two kind of bigger pieces. You're able to split that one, and one of them falls off and kind of just collapses and shatters on the ground. And any energy or humming that was in it just kind of reverberates out and then fades and goes away. You got about halfway there.
Can I make a quick investigation check to determine if something was to come into this place that is not visible at the moment? Where would it come from?
I'll give it to you. I think you would. it would come from that same spot, come shooting down that slide like you guys did. There are no external tunnels. There are no other markings that may show somebody could tunnel in, or have tunneled in.
Okay. I'll be ready near that.
Okay. Anything else? Anybody else want to?
Can I hit it again?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, you're there. You're locked in with those strength checks, so you won't have to give me another one. But yeah, give me you have it halfway there. Yeah. Now we're rolling. All right, give me a damage roll.
What did I say it was? 1d10 plus 3 plus 5. Big yikes.
You're able to. So there's that one pillar still up. You're able to get most of it, and again, a big chunk of it sloughs off, crashing into the ground in that same reverberation. It needs one more hit to happen, and we can kind of role play this out as if it just does. I mean, no sense. You're going to be here long enough. You're able to take another swing, Gretchen, and kind of get this thing now finally falling down. That final one just kind of breaks, shatters, and that final reverberation, it seems to go further beyond these walls, and the crystal shards that were in your hands, that humming and the glow and the pulsing seem to stop. And all the shards that are within the meteorite kind of fall out and just clink, 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 falling around it, and then all those pulsing beats that are in them fall down and end, and it becomes almost eerily quiet. And you seem to have taken out the source of this.
That was too easy.
That was way too easy.
I'm going to turn and look at them and be like, you guys always say, don't just come in there and swing in your hammer. But look what I did. I came in here, swinging my hammer.
You know what? You're right. I honestly apologize for my previous comments.
One of the last shards to come out of that meteorite it's longer than anyone you've seen before, and it's very sword-like. It's crystalline in nature, that amber color. It's short sword sized. It does still kind of have a slight hum to it.
I think you just found a sword.
I prefer my hammer. She's gonna look over at her friends and just be like, somebody want this sword?
I mean, I'll take it, I guess. Does the Crusader want it?
Valtiv.
I would like to walk over and at least investigate it.
Yeah, it's as you get closer to it, it's the one remaining pulse. It's not as strong as the pieces you've seen before, but it's still there. It's almost like this inner vein throughout this sword is pumping and pulsing, and as you put your hand up to it, you can feel that hum. It's almost got a slight throttle to it, and it feels like if you pick it up and turn it around, it feels like a well-crafted short sword.
I would like to cast Identify, and by cast Identify, I would like to roll my +9 Arcana.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. This is a magic weapon called the Mind Splinter. It has that hum in the hand of its wielder. You have a +1 to attack on damage rolls made with the magic weapon. You have blind sight out to 10 feet while you hold this. And once per day, you can cast Detect Thoughts. So it's got some magical properties to it. And this is the end of our module tonight. Grasping that Mind Splinter. I do want to ask, though, what would each of these characters do? You've been promised by Torvain and Iskaval a magical item. You've been promised maybe finder's rights to this meteor and this Mind Splinter. What would the next day or two from each of these characters look like?
Well, I can tell you the first thing I'm doing is I'm going outside and I'm going to continue holding this fire blast because I'm paranoid that something's going to happen.
So yeah, you're this readied spell
And when it's released, it just like he's like, well, I guess nothing's going to happen. Sometime late at night, holds hand up, just a roar of flame, 2nd level spell, heightened meta magic.
Nice. I like it. I like the delayed gratification on there. You were able to hold it all the way till you got out. Nice.
Still blue-balled.
Would anybody take up Torvain or Erskval on their magic item?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What would be something you would want crafted? If Gretchen could have some sort of magical trinket. Anything off the top of your head?
That's tough. Because her hammer is just like everything to her. Probably some sort of
Yeah, I'm throwing you guys a curveball here at the end. Maybe Iskaval would suggest maybe some runic carvings in here that add a weapon damage of your choice, some kind of magical lightning, fire, something that would go with. And if it's snow fight, maybe a cold damage might be something he would suggest.
Yeah, just like a magic, just an enchantment on my own weapon.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
good.
Valtive, any requests in magical items?
Having the sword, no.
Oh yeah, that's right. You have the mind splitter.
But the first thing I would do is make sure that all 3 of them were safe. That would be my priority when we got out of there, is make sure that they were okay and off to safety.
Perfect. Yeah, there's a town like 2 miles out from this crash site. Both of these, Torvain and Erskval, live there, as well as this elven woman. We didn't get her name. I think it was Bridget, but you do check in on them. Bridget has recovered. She does offer you that same charm necklace if you would take it as payment for making sure she made it out. But other than that, you guys successfully handled these shards. Found the way to kind of work around their power. Nobody was brave enough to inject themselves with it, but that's all right. There's always next time.
Don't worry about me. I didn't have a magic item. That's fine.
I do want to say thank you to the players here at the table. Everybody that came out tonight, and say sorry, Star, that you didn't make it on this adventure with us. We'll get you on the next one. I want to thank Arcane Library for writing these one-shots. They are so much fun to play through. We do have another one coming up next week, the Gilded Tower, I think. I'm blanking on the name. It's late. Everybody in chat, thank you for hanging out. This has been another FeatherFall Tabletop Community one-shot. We got some more coming down the line. Valley of the Gilded Tower, I'm being told. Oh, sorry, Ashton. I thought you wanted just your fireball.
It perfectly fits the character. He was going to ask for a hood, but it's just like it goes to the other 2. Right. Yeah, you want to write him? Okay. Ash just like doesn't say anything. Was waiting for them to come to him.
He gets one of like the Gordon Fisherman hat, big yellow hats, just that covers the neck, covers the shoulders. No more acid.
Just goes to town like, I'll buy myself an item then.
Anyway, that wraps up all of the players' boons for this adventure. But thank you, everybody. Truly, it's been fun. I love doing these, and I love having you with me. With that, we're going to end it for tonight. I hope Billy's in the chat and ready to end this thing and sign off. Otherwise, I will act as though.